guys, I can't believe this. I honestly can't believe this, and it's all down to you guys. We're in Yahoo News, we're in Sunday People, The Mirror, just you name it. And like I said, it's all down to you guys. I couldn't have gotten to this point without you guys. So thank you so much for all your motivation, your encouragement, your support, all of it. Thank you guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made a beef mince cake. So everything in this cake is edible, so you're going to want to see that, including the cellophane sheet. Everything is edible, guys. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this video, so stay tuned and let's get on right to the video. I started this cake by first making the container for the meat. So I used the real plastic food container for my mold. As you can see, I've given it a proper bath with corn flour. This is just to make it easy for me to take out the fondant container after it dries. If you're making this, please make sure that you use a container that contained maybe fruits or vegetables, not meat, for food safety reasons. And also make sure that you give the container a proper wash before using it. Now that I've prepped my plastic container mold, I'm just rolling out my black fondant. So before rolling out this fondant, I put in some Tylose powder. This is just to make the container dry really hard. After rolling out the black fondant, I'm going to lift it up and drape it over the plastic container. So here I'm just trying to mold it around the plastic container. When the fondant has formed properly around the container, I'll use my fondant smoother to smoothen it some more before cutting off the excess fondant. When I'm done with taking off the excess fondant, I'm going to set this aside to dry for about 3 days. So I'm leaving it that long to give the fondant a chance to harden up properly before attempting to remove it from the mold. My fondant meat container has been drying for the past 3 days and it's now ready to be taken off the mold. So I'm going to do this very gently so that I don't break it. Just take a look at the beautiful prints left by the plastic mold. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing all of that because the cake we're making is going to cover up most of it. Now, to get rid of the corn flour on the body of the fondant container, I'm just rubbing some vegetable fat all over the body and inside the container as well. So this is also going to give it a bit of a shine. I would also use a paper towel to try and take away some of that shine and also spread the vegetable fat more evenly around the surface of the container. Moving on to the cake, I placed my plastic mold on top of parchment paper and cut out a template to help me carve out the length and the width of my cake. Then to decide the height of my cake, I used my ruler to measure the height of my container, taking into consideration that the edible minced beef was also going to go into the container. So I allowed room for that in my measurement. And based on the measurement, I decided to cut my cake to a height of 4 cm. Here I've got a small round cake which I'm first going to trim. So I'm just taking the top off. So using my ruler, I'm going to measure and cut out a cake layer with a height of 4 cm. Now that the height of the cake is sorted, Using the template which I made earlier, I'm going to carve out the shape of the cake. To help the cake to properly fit into the container, I cut out some cake from around the 4 sides. Moving on to the exciting part, which is making the edible beef mince, I crumbled up some leftover cake. Then I mixed in some pink buttercream. After that, I added a few drops of Sugar Flares Red Extra Gel Food Color. Mixed it in as well. Then finally, I crumbled some Rice Krispies. Mixed it in with the cake mixture. And then after mixing, I set the whole thing aside. The cake and edible mince are prepped and ready to go in the fondant container. So to stick the cake in, I applied some buttercream to the bottom of the container. Then I put in the cake and filled up the sides with the cake pieces that I cut off earlier. The next thing to go in was another layer of buttercream, which I spread all over the cake surface. And then I put the edible minced beef mixture that I made earlier into a pasta extruder and piped it all over the buttercream layer. Finally, I trimmed some edible cellophane sheets and attached it to the fondant container using corn syrup. Clicking the pop-up above will take you to a video showing how I made this edible cellophane sheet. To complete the look, I also had a minced beef label printed on edible wafer paper, so I trimmed this label and attached it to the cellophane sheet, also with a bit of corn syrup. And there you have it. Our edible beef mince cake is ready. And now, as usual, I'm going to cut the cake.
A collision of decisions whirling in my heart.
We've now come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. And do you have anything to say to our subscribers, David?
Just make sure to subscribe to my mom's channel because she has a lot of ideas that you'll really want to see. Trust me in that.
Yeah, you've heard that. So thank you so much, guys, for everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.